All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Wes, and today we're going to be making another project in Scratch. This time around, we're going to be making a brick breaker game. So if you took part in our lesson when we made paddle ball, this will be very similar to that. To get started, you're going to go to scratch.mit.edu. You will need an account. If you don't already have one, you can sign up through either the link I'll post along with this video, or you can just go to Scratch and make your own account. Just make sure you have parental permission first, and don't use your real name or your full name at least. But once you're ready to go, you're going to go up to Create, and you'll be taken to a page that looks just like this. First things first, we're going to get rid of our sprite named Scratch there. I'm going to choose a new sprite. You can search in the top there. I'm going to go with paddle. Okay, so I'm going to take this paddle here. We're going to go events, when green flag clicked. And we're going to go control, forever. We want it to follow our mouse. So what we're going to do, and we don't just want it to, I believe in the paddle ball game we made, it followed our mouse all around the screen, but we just want it to move left to right, similar to the fruit catching game we made. So to do that, we're going to go to motion. We'll grab go to X and Y right there. Except if we scroll down, oh, actually we got to go to sensing and grab this mouse X. There's mouse X and mouse Y. We just want mouse X, and it'll go right in that bubble there. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so you guys can see what I'm doing a bit better. Alright, so now when we click our green flag, it's going to move, our paddle is going to move left to right forever, but it won't move up or down. We don't want it right in the middle of our screen, so let's change this X, or this Y value from -10 to maybe -160 near the bottom. There we go. Alright. Now, next thing we're going to need to do is make our ball. So, to do that, we're going to go again, choose a sprite, and as soon as everything loads here, right over here we have a ball. You click it. If you can go to costumes and pick which color you'd like, I'm just going to go with plain old yellow. So what we're going to do here, we'll go to events again, when green flag clicked. Go to motion, we're going to point in direction 90. Go to operators. So here's, you can just have it point when you start, you can have it point 180, but then it's always just going to be bouncing up and down and up and down and up and down. So we'll go grab a pick random block, go to sensing, and we'll get oops, you know what, no, back in operators, we need this -0 or blank minus blank. We're going to go 180 minus, in this pick random we'll put, I don't know, 45 to -45. Okay, so put that in there. So now when the green flag is clicked, it's going to point down and then somewhere in between these two values. So it's not always going straight left to right. We're also going to want to pick where it starts. So go to X and Y, maybe just 0 and 0. Okay. And then I think we'll also want to set the rotation style. I'm going to go all around. Or, yeah, no, all around. Then go to events. Excuse me, and control. Wait 1 second. That way you have a little bit of time before your game starts if your paddle isn't in the position you want it to be in. Then we'll grab a forever loop and an if blank then. Actually, 2 of those if blank thens. One we're going to use now, the other we'll use a little bit later. We're going to go to operators, and we're going to get this blank or block. I'm going to get 2 of those. All right. And in the first blank or block, we're going to go to sensing. Grab this touching mouse pointer. Going to change mouse pointer to paddle. These other 2 blanks are going to be our bricks, but we haven't made those yet, so they're not going to show up. We'll fill those in just a little bit later. Actually, if you want to now, you can put the touching mouse pointer blocks in there, and then we will change those when we do make our bricks. Inside of this first if-then block, we are going to go up to events. We're going to broadcast message 1, change message 1 to, let's say, oops, bounce. There we go. Now, the next thing we're going to do over here will be when I receive, actually, you know what, this Y, let's make it a little bit higher. Let's do maybe 50, just so it's not starting right in the middle. It'll give us a little bit more time. Yeah, so when the ball touches the paddle or our bricks, it's going to broadcast message bounce. Then we'll move down here. We're going to go when I receive message 1, change message 1 to bounce. We are going to go to motion. We'll grab point in direction 90. Actually, you can just duplicate this block right here. Oops. I'm going to throw away that. So we're just going to go point in direction 180 minus, and then go direction. If I'm moving too fast, you can pause and catch up. So we're going to have it always, it'll point in 180 degrees minus our direction. That way it'll always be bouncing the other way. So if we go like this, oh, you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to make it move and bounce. So while we're over in our motion, we're going to grab an if on edge bounce, put that inside of forever, and we're going to grab a move 10 steps block, the very first blue block. Grab move 10 steps. There we go. Okay, so now our ball is bouncing around. Uh-oh. There we go. There. Okay. Oh, it's touching mouse pointer. I see. We'll fix that a little bit later. It's going to be a little bit crazy for now. But so when I receive bounce, we're going to change direction by 180 minus direction. Then we're going to go here to control. We're going to grab an if-then block. I'll scroll down a bit. Grab an if-then block. And then inside of that if-then block, we're going to put 2 more if-then blocks, one on top, one underneath. So they're not, you don't have 3 if-then blocks all in one. They look like this here, with 2 if-then blocks inside, one on top, one on the bottom, not all 3 like that. Now, inside this first blank, we're going to go to sensing, touching mouse pointer, change mouse pointer to paddle. Then under operators, we're going to go to grab a greater than and a less than value. So these green ones, the greater than value is the one with the arrow. The arrow is going to be pointing to the smaller number. Less than, the arrow is going to be pointing to the smaller number. So just 1 is pointing right, 1 is pointing left. We're going to change this 50 to 80. Then we'll change this 50 to negative 80. Okay? And then inside both of these, we're going to put another direction bubble. Just like that. And then inside of the if-thens, we're going to put point in direction 90. Except we're going to change 90 to 80. So it matches, and then same thing down here, we're going to change 90 to negative 80, so let's point in the opposite direction. Okay, alright, let's see here. It's still bouncing up there. I'm thinking that has to do with these being set to touching mouse pointer. That should go away once we make our bricks, which we'll do right now. So we're going to go choose a sprite, and we'll do this button 3, okay? So select button 3. That's going to be our brick, okay? We're going to go events. When green flag clicked, we will go control. We'll grab a repeat 10, which will change to 5. Okay, and then we're going to create clone of myself, motion, and we'll change X by, this one will be -75. Okay, so when this green flag is clicked, it's going to create 5 clones of itself, and each clone is going to move over 75 steps to the left. But we don't want it to start here, do we? So right underneath your when green flag clicked, we're going to go, actually first let's go looks, switch costume to button 3A. So we are going to want it to always start as this gray block. We're going to go select show, and let's grab this go to X and Y block, put it right underneath there. I'm thinking 191, 95. Let's see. Okay, so that worked. It's just they're overlapping a little bit. If you want them like that, you can. I'm going to change my size to maybe 80. There we go. All right, so now we have our blocks up there. We'll rename button 3 to brick. All right. Then we need to go to control again. We need to have something happen when we start as a clone. So I'm going to grab when I start as clone, forever, if then, we'll grab a wait 1 second just while we're here. 2 of them. One on top, one on the bottom. The top one will change to 0.01, and the bottom will change to 0.5. Okay? Then we'll go looks, next costume, and that should be good. Inside this blank, we're going to go back to sensing, grab touching ball. So if it's touching the ball, when it starts as a clone, it's going to change its costume. There you go. Okay, so one thing we're going to do real quick, we're going to go to costumes. We are going to paint a new costume. It'll be labeled costume 1. Nothing's going to be in it. We're going to leave it just like that. Okay, so then after it, there you go, see, once it turns blue, and then it turns invisible basically, and then we can't change it again because we can't touch it. Alright, now that we have this, we're gonna go back to our ball. We're gonna change this mouse pointer to brick, this other mouse pointer also to brick. That way it'll just stop bouncing up and down on my mouse. There we go. We are also, because I believe one of these won't be at this block here, it's not going to be a clone. So we'll go events, when green flag clicked, control, forever. Actually, you know what? We can just duplicate. So right click on this forever right here, duplicate it, snap it right under there. So it's the same exact script, just now it actually affects our first block that we had, not just our second one. And you know what? I think I'm going to change this 80, the size 80 to size 75. Let's see how that goes. There we go. There. So our game's working pretty well. Last thing we're going to do, two more things actually. We're going to duplicate brick. So now we have brick 1 and brick 2. we'll have it be the exact same, except we're going to want it to start a little bit higher up, our second brick. So let's have it go to x, let's say negative 184, and y 141. Then instead of moving left to right, we'll have it move right to left, so we'll have it change x by 75. There we go. So now I got 2 rows of bricks. Alright. Looking good so far. Okay, so we'll go back to our ball. And so we want to, in this, right before we broadcast bounce, we want to if touching paddle, or brick 2. Okay? Then it'll broadcast bounce. We need to add a game over. So we're going to go search line. I'm going to add this red line right here. Move it down to the bottom below our paddle. Then if you go back to ball on this bottom if then, we are going to go to sensing, again touching mouse pointer. This time that will change mouse pointer to line, and we'll go to control and stop all. Okay, so now your game is finished. There's a few modifiers you can add. You can add a score, so you can go just in your brick underneath next costume. We'll go variables, and we're going to make a new variable, call it score for all sprites. Okay, you can have it showing up there at the top if you'd like. We're going to go when green flag clicked, we'll set score to 0, and then underneath next costume we're going to go change score by 1. We do that for both brick 1 and brick 2. Alright, there you go. So it looks like we have 6 bricks. So if you want a game over, underneath this forever you can have another if then, and you can have it set to if score in this first block here. So you'd grab this blank equals blank, if score equals 24, put that in there, then broadcast you win, then pick what you want you win to do, whether it's change the background, just stop the game, whatever you'd like. You can also add more costumes, so you have to break these blocks. Maybe the top row you have to break 3 times, the bottom row you only have to break twice. You can do that just by going into costumes. You can duplicate a brick here and change the fill. Actually, I guess the easiest way to do it would be go convert to bitmap, and then you've got your paint bucket here, so you could do a brown, just like that. Maybe not the best color to choose, but still works. Yeah, really go nuts, add whatever you'd like. I guess we should probably add a backdrop, so I'm going to go choose a backdrop. Galaxy. There we go. Alright, but yeah, that's a finished game. Add whatever modifiers you'd like. If you want that to be maybe your ball changes color every time it touches a paddle, you can do that. You can also have it so that your ball speeds up every time you get a point, just by a little bit. All kinds of things you guys can do, but when you are done, make sure you save your game, give it a name, call mine Brick Breaker Lesson, and then you can share it just right up there. Tell people how to play your game, and then I would love to see them, so if you guys want, you can just right click here, or click right here and add it to a studio that I will name Brick Breaker, or you can copy the link and share it in the Club Hub Facebook page as well. But yeah, I would absolutely love to see what you guys make. If you have any other additions, maybe if you want levels, so once your score reaches 24, you change your backdrop and have these clone themselves all over again, except this time it moves a little bit faster. There's all kinds of things you guys can do. Maybe we'll explore those in a future video, but for now, have a good day, and I will see you next time. Bye now.